Okay, we're just gonna hang out a little bit here. Got nowhere to go, nothing else to do. The prep is all ready to go. Quick shout out to Tomasz, the man who I did his cable for the other day. Gave me a nice Czech beer from Pilsen. Yeah, so thank you very much, Thomas. It's very kind of him. Yes, but we obviously need some time to wait for the chat or people to join in. They need those links and yada yada yada. Haven't heard from Shelly. Might be another solo one here this evening. But Division 2 is to come fairly soon. So, I mean, if they're watching this on YouTube, I'm sure you've already skipped through this part. So, if not, then hey, thanks for coming and hang out. Hopefully you're going to have a good race. Hopefully I'm going to be as entertaining as usual. It's something that we strive for here. Just being good. Being not boring. Being an outlet. An escape, if you will. Just something to get you out of that daily grind and something to sit down and enjoy, relax, and chat. Talk to me. Cheer on your favorite drivers. Division 2 this evening, if I didn't mention that, or if you haven't seen already. It's going to be a banger. Division 2, I did not do up the team lineups, but we'll go through them. I can read them out to you here. So, starting off in the Alfa Romeos, Dirty Boy Jackson is teamed by Helgelin. Now that could be a pretty good team for the Division 2 constructors. That has a chance. AlphaTauri as well has something to say with Race Day 2016 and Got Palmer. EDA Got Palmer. Those two are pretty good drivers as well. I believe newly promoted Soy Loco. Where did he finish last season? No, sorry. Newly promoted Jose Miguel. Yes, newly promoted Jose Miguel alongside former Division 1 driver Soy Loco. Of course, had that unlucky season 5, I think it was. And then NFS Light Work. Oh, those two, sorry, are in the Alpines. NFS Light Work in the Aston Martins. In the Aston Martin, that is. With Nicky, a long-standing driver here in the Midwest F1 League. Has a good teammate alongside him there in Light Work. Light Work is pretty quick. Oh, KD, good to see you, man. Or woman. I believe man. There we go. For the Ferraris, Division 2. Continue onward. We see Sharia Coleslaw. Last week, actually, up in Division 1. In reserve. Reserving for, I believe that was Will Ans, who has since dropped. He's alongside Hightower, who was with the Ferraris in Division 2 last season as well. Murfincelli, EDA Murfincelli, recently demoted from Division 1, is with Ray E46, a man who's been in Division 2 for a couple seasons now. Dusty Lusky, a very fast driver from what we've seen, is with newly relegated Super Ninas 88, former Division 1, long-time Division 1 driver there in Ninas. So he's going to hopefully try and work his way back up, but it is getting ever quicker every season and just makes it every much so harder. Lancy as well. We saw Lancy have some major pace in the Interdivision Challenge there. He's in the Mercs with A.E. Daltonian as well as a long-standing Midwest F1 driver. A.E. Daltonian just fought off relegation last year down to Division 3 and is looking for a more consistent season in Season 7 in the new game. But in the new game, you never know what can happen. So we'll see what A.E. Daltonian can do. And best of luck to A.E. Daltonian. And then in chat, KD, 35700 in the Red Bull, teaming once again with PWR Grim Reaper. That team did not change from last season. And it seems like Shelly the Turtle is here. You're already jumping into my intro here, Shelly. I've got one more team to go, and then we can say hi and we can check in on how you're doing here. But quickly, the last one in the Williams in Division 2, former Division 1 driver, former two-time Constructors Champion winner in Division 1 as well. Younger brother of Scornsy, as well known as Mystic Joker, in the Williams. Just missing out on promotion last season. Thank you. It was one of the few things still up in my room right now, as my room is gutted virtually from preparing to move, which will be done this Sunday. So next stream, you'll be having a new backdrop to look at. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a nicer one than my dresser and my Edmonton Oilers poster, as well as my Star Wars poster. But Sui is alongside Houdini, as well, a long-time Division 2 driver. Houdini, I believe, won Division 4 and Division 3 in back-to-back seasons, and then could not get the job done in Division 2, and has been stuck ever since. So looking to try and find form here in the new game. But Shelly the Turtle, I hope you are here and ready to say hello. You are currently muted right now, so just speak up whenever you are able.
Yeah, I'm here. Fun fact, somehow my notifications from Discord got turned off, and I haven't gotten at all day, so I definitely didn't just realize 5 minutes before the race that Div 2 is going to be live tonight, so yeah. Got myself in the back for that one.
Oh, that's how you got reminded that you're casting.
Yeah. Well, no, I always got the daily notification from Crash, and that's how it works.
Hey, Peter, I love the enthusiasm. Very hard over GSR, I get that, but just remember ELE, everyone love everyone, and no one's better than the other person, unless you're from Calgary. Then they're below.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, man. Well, I just went through the drivers and the teams there. I don't know how much prep or I guess you need an invite, eh?
Yeah, I do need an invite. I'm just kind of sitting here.
Okay, I can get you on that. Shelly the Turtle, invited. Still have 3 minutes, so we're still good.
Yeah, I made it in time.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll pat myself on the back for this one.
Oh Christ, man, it hit. Okay, let me put it into American. Let me have the preparation to American terms. So, it hit. I was out working in 96 today.
Yeah.
36 degrees Celsius for all the normal humans in the world. But, yeah, that's kind of gross. It's been it's been steady 36 every day for the last week, and it's supposed to carry on until Monday.
Well, that's not great.
No, it's quite hot.
Okay. 97 degrees. All right. Kind of do a little Google calculator math.
Well,
there.
I tried to translate it for you already.
What did you?
I said 96. I said it hit 96 today.
You said 36.
I said 96 first, and then I said 36.
Really?
Yes. But anyhow, same thing. Whatever, 36, 96. Yeah, quite hot.
Yeah, it's not the ideal weather to be hanging around in.
Around this time last year, it was actually it was 42, 43. So that's easy over 100. It was freaking hot.
It was freaking hot.
Yeah.
It was freaking hot. It's been warm around here. It's been mid-80s all day. It's cooled down since last week. It was mid-90s last week.
That is so nice. Mid-80s right now.
It was mid-80s today. Or it was low 80s today, I should say. But, hey, it's all right. I'll probably get rain for the next 3 days. I don't even be able to enjoy it, so.
I could see now it's like a double-edged sword at this point, right? You want a little bit of rain, right? But with it being so hot, I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but last year with it being so hot, and then actually no, that was in December, November. Never mind. But we had major floods last year in December, November. It was just Let me see if I can. Let me pull up a picture here.
We had a flash flood warning today for like 3 hours. That was fun.
You had a what?
A flash flood warning, like a lot of water.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I did not get swept away, so I'm happy.
Okay. Look up, just on Google, Castle Fun Park flooded. And then I'll just show you, like, pictures of, like, the area. It's just, that's, like, the main, like, attraction in that area. So
Castle Fun Park?
Yeah, Castle Fun Park flooded. Okay, we're about to get in the lobby here. So while you kind of look into that a little bit here. My God. Yeah. That's where I do my, like, down those roads and everything. That's Highway 1. That's Canada Highway 1 that you can't even see. Like that overpass there goes by. That's Canada Highway 1. It's just, like, gone. And all of that land that you see there, that's all farms. And, like, some are with agriculture. Like, people were having to, like, boat out, like, cows and everything.
Under 1,000 animals died.
Yeah.
Take your breaks.
Pretty crazy.
Wow.
But, okay, anywho, that's what happened last year in December around my time. November. I was safe.
That was December?
Yeah, that was, like, December, November. Can't remember. When was the article made?
I just clicked off it. Hold on.
Yeah, November 16th.
November 16th. What is going on in Canada in November? That was like
Canada's just like nuts.
Moose and meese and geese.
Yeah, well, no, we're kind of Canada's a big country, right? Like a lot of the Canada, there's a lot of different areas of Canada, like the States.
Yeah.
Right. So, but anywho, okay, season 1 schedule. This is how Division 1 looks so far. Podiums. The first being for all 3 of these drivers: Edwin, Ryan Rods, and Scornsey. Edwin taking home his first victory in Midwest F1, starting off F1 2022 pretty damn good. We continue on to Hungary, and then to follow is Canada and Monaco, a couple fun races after this one. Some that drivers don't love. I'm just going to rip through these, Shelly, while we have just to get through them. But, okay. Division 1 Drivers' Championship. As you'd expect, with Edwin winning the race, he's leading the Drivers' Championship. Ryan Rods and Scornsey, the former 2 Division 1 Drivers' Championship winners, sitting 2 and 3, and several drivers without. I didn't even sort the bloody points. Get that off my screen. Damn it. Okay, Mercedes leading the charge, 196. Alpine second. Alpine, of course, the defending Drivers' Championship, or Constructors' Championship right now. And then there we go, the full results of last week's race. GSR, Edwin, Ryan Rods, and Scornsey, like I said, with the podiums, 2 DNFs, that being EDA Got Palmer and Smith text-to-speech, because I did not proofread my work. God damn it, not off to a good start here. Division 2 Drivers' Championship, Lancey, I believe this is all right. Lancey leads us race day second, and EDA Murphinselli. Murphinselli was demoted last season in the Haas, is sitting in third. And there you can see several drivers without any points there as well. And quickly into the Constructors' Championship here. Before we get our first hot lap, still got a little bit of time here. We see Alpine leading the way, Aston Martin second, Mercedes third, and McLaren fourth, and AlphaTauri fifth. And that is where Division 2 stands. We are right into qualifying here. Who are you going to jump on board here with, Shelly? And we'll ride him around when he comes on his hot lap.
Yeah, I can find whatever AlphaTauri that is in front. I think that is race day. We talked to him last season in Div 3, and that was, I believe, the second to final round in China and Saudi, that double sprint. And he was pretty enthusiastic about the promotion. I'm not sure how well he's doing this season. I can look at that right now, and I'll tell you how he's doing. He is doing fine. He's P4, after 2 drivers got moved around in the top 4, that being Dunk and KB. But he's trying to chase down Lanzi, and that's the first competition he's seen. Guess what? We're also seeing his first hot lap here in Hungary. We're underway. Down 1 of 2 DRS straights and down into turn 1. Breaking all the way down to second gear and taking a little bit of that inside curve. Getting on the power early in the second DRS straight. He's going to power down to what we all love and know as turn 2. I definitely didn't mess that up at all. Turn 2 is a fun corner. Touch that curb, you're fine. And then into turn 3. And best corner on the track. Turn 4. Don't spin out here. 6th gear. And it does not invalidate. Very impressive there from the 2016 man. Through turn 5, that corner, or that curb you don't want to touch, I should say. Hungary's a really nice and flowing track as we go through the 6-7 chicane and into the 8-9-10 area. Very flowing, and you can get in a rhythm here and really drive away with the race if you are locked in. He pounds through turn 10 there, taking all that exit curb. A little bit of a slide, but controls it nicely down into 11. And purple sector 2, guess what? He's the only guy that can put a purple sector in now. So you love to see it. Turn 13, and then turn 14, the penultimate corner. These last two corners, you don't want to touch those curbs, and don't get on the throttle too early. You will spin out. Down the line and across the line, it's a 1:16.5. Very good lap.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, if anything, last season's race in or IRL race in Hungary kind of reminded us that Hungary does very much still have a place on the calendar. It provided a lot of excitement last season, of course, with a lot of people remember Fernando Alonso's very impressive defense on Lewis Hamilton for all those laps, leading to Esteban Ocon getting his first win in F1. So I do enjoy this track. It is, I can get the... I don't think it gets a lot of hate, but people just expect like a boring pit stop battle, kind of like similar to Monaco, because there's only, in this, at least it offers up an area to overtake here, coming down pit straight. If you are truly quicker than the driver behind, then you do have a pretty good shot of getting an overtake. But I mean, it can be a little dull at times, and I mean every Formula One fan has to admit that. But but going back to my original point, I like Hungary. I think it's a fun track. Like you said, very fun to flow through when you get into a nice groove, and races can be won or lost after in between all those turns in between the two DRS straights.
Yeah, most definitely. The Hungary ring is one that I love as well. I saw a little bit of similarity in the booth here. Speaking of in the booth, let's go on Hightower. He's in the booth, coming across the line. Gotta go P12. Not the lap I thought I'd see out of him, but no. You know what? A lap's a lap. Nice banker. Get back out there. Oh, another flyer. Somebody that I do know about, though, Sui, coming into the third sector. And set his time. Oh, Lance goes P2 with a 16.6. So Racely got that 10th over him on pole currently. Nice to see it.
Yeah, currently 3 drivers in the 116s. I'm sure we're going to see more come through, but yeah, sorry, continue there.
Oh, no, you're fine. If Sui comes across the line, going to go in the top 10, just in front of Nikki64 with a 118.1. I have not played this game after the patch that came out, and I don't know how much time most of these guys have.
Quickly, sorry, we got Super Ninas just spinning out around turn 11 there. He's out of the way of the Merc coming into the pit, but he was on a hop lap, so he's going to have to come back in. Next over the line is Ray. But yes, continue on with the patch.
The patch came out, and I believe it affected the handling model a lot. They actually erased the TT time boards, so I guess something major has happened to the car. I can tell you, I still spin out, so I can't tell. But
yeah, I spin out all the same, so I don't notice the difference.
Yeah, but no, so it looks like some of these guys have learned it quickly. Speaking of somebody that might have learned it quickly, right? I saw his purple sector 1, didn't see his sector 2. He's actually going to go P7, so maybe a bad third sector for him. A 17.4 for the Haas driver.
Yeah, and the next over the line is quite a ways away. Looks like we got an Alpine coming into the pit there. But EDA got Palmer. Last week was in Division 1, was not able to pick up any points in the availability to get more reserving up. It says he gets a purple sector 2, but I believe at this point we may just deem that a game glitch because everyone seems to get a purple sector 2 whenever we jump on board with him. But he's coming around the final couple of turns, but yeah, sorry, Shelly.
No, I'm just telling you, they said it was fixed, so it may be legitimate now. I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to see him come over the line here, and is it good enough? And it may have been a proper purple sector 2, goes right in behind his teammate, just under a 10th off of race day's pace. And AlphaTauris are looking really good right now, sitting 1-2 currently.
Looking at the Constructors' Championship, they did not have a good week 1 in France, and down there in P6, trying to chase down the 2 Alpines of Sui Loco and Low Power Cowboy. Got my blue cars confused there with the Williams. and the Alpine. Yeah, but they're looking to chase him down this week. Got a gap of, what is that? Let's say 40 points. So I think they can take command of the constructors with a good result here in Hungary. Who doesn't love Hungary? It's a great track. I don't know why people hate on it.
No, I agree. It's just haters gonna hate and ain'ters gonna ain't. Like, just as simple as that.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Who else we got coming across the line here? I think both houses. One's on an out lap, and I think the next guy is actually Lansy. So maybe a pole lap coming. I'll have to wait and see.
I'm on board with KD, and he's actually just about to finish up his second lap. But Lansy Lancy's up ahead of him?
Yeah, coming through sector 3 now.
Yeah, yeah, he's just finishing up the last turn here, looking to try and take pole away. We know how quick he was in the interdivision challenge, but can he sneak away pole? And yes, he does. Going to the 116.3. KD, he's got some pace as well. Where can he go? Into 7th. Not too bad. A good first lap. Unfortunately, it is his just first lap. We got a Ferrari looking to start a hot lap here. We got a couple Alfa Romeos. Helg is invalid. Another Ferrari. Hightower, no, that'd be Sharia. Just in behind, is that Mo Power Cowboy? No, it's not. Nikki, is this KB? No, it's not. Ray, EDA Murphy is invalid, so we continue down to a McLaren on an out lap here. And the next is a Merc. That's Lancy.
It's KB. KB's on a hot lap.
Yeah, KB is the next one. I guess.
Yeah, I believe he's actually up 3/10. It goes purple through sector 2. So, some pace out of the KB, not the KD. Don't get confused. We got 2 of those in the lobby tonight.
I suggest actually listening to KD and Lunch Meat. It's by a Canadian artist, and right now it's looking like a one-hit wonder, but it's actually a really good song.
KD and Lunch Meat. I will write it down and look at that later. But guess what? We're talking about the KB. He goes P4 in the Midwest F1 Hungaroring Grand Prix. Love to see it.
So, the Hungaroring does have a little bit of history in the Midwest F1 League. It had an absolutely buck wild start one season where we lost like 3 out of the top 4 drivers, and it's just it can produce some chaos, and it's similar to what was last season where Valtteri Bottas executed Order 66 on Max Verstappen, but Max came out alive. Still ended up getting points that race, but there can be anarchy at the start of this race for whatever reason.
Yeah, some people break a little bit too deep, and I have gotten down the Midwest F1 rabbit hole on YouTube and found that and watched it several times in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it is a great video to revisit every now and then.
Is that race day? No, it's not. Race day is on a hot lap here, so maybe we'll ride this one out. Actually, we got Super Ninas coming over for his first time, so we'll jump on board there. And then we got a Ferrari. We'll try and get on race
Towers down.
Into the pit, yes. Nikki
he's actually aborted his flyer.
Oh, that was race day?
Race day has aborted his flyer, yeah. Got an Alpine. That's Cowboy going in the pits. We got a Red Bull.
Next, I believe, is Ray. No. Is it? It might be Ray. Yeah, it looks like Ray's going to try and fight this one out. No, he's actually into the pit as well.
We got Tony in the pits. Alfa Romeo of DBJ, who's up 7.5 seconds.
I'm hoping that it'd be up a lot with that time set. We'll see how much he can improve through Sector 3 as well. Looking like he might go into the 17s. He's going to be a little bit of a stretch here, but at least he's going to improve on his time. And he actually does go into the 117s, a low 117 going into 8th place. Not too bad.
Too bad. I'm trying to fight off a sneeze right now. I'm doing my best. I did fight it off. Just like COVID. Beat COVID too. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I never had COVID. Sound like it fit in that line there. Speaking of lines, somebody drove around this track really fast and has the Midwest F1 lap record in D2. Who do you think that was that set the D2 Hungaroring lap record?
D2?
Give you a hint. I'll give you one hint. He is in D1 now.
How recent?
This season. Well, I can't. Well, I kind of just give it away.
This season?
This season is in D1, yes.
Yeah, but can you, like, what season was he in D2? Like, how?
I believe it was last season.
No, we haven't raced. When was the last time we raced in Hungary? It's been a while since we've been in Hungary, I believe.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah. We haven't been in Hungary since the final season of since season 4.
Oh, and it was season 4. I'm surprised this driver was here season 4. Well, no, he was, because I was still racing when he was here. Yeah.
Season 4, and then
D2.
now he's in. Ooh. I'm not gonna cheat. I promise I'm not gonna cheat. Just give me a second to think. I want to put in a good guess.
I'll let you think. Well, Murphy and Sully goes P6 with a 1:16.8, getting the driver in the sub 117s. Might say 1 sub 15 for pole, and Dusty Lusty actually goes 1:16.9, so another 1 sub 17. You love to see it.
Oh.
He did leave the league and rejoin.
Oh, what? And he's in Division 1 now? Was it Dace?
It is not Dace.
Who was it?
Dace was no. It was Jonathan Dunk with 1:15.7.
Oh, okay. He just very recently got promoted. I don't know if you're gonna spoil that as well, but Jonathan Dunk is now full time in Division 1.
I thought it's been news for a few days. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna, because that would have spoiled it for sure. If you were like, oh, and he just got promoted into Division 1.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, well. I thought I ruined it, but guess what? I didn't ruin it. Fun little trivia game, sponsored by myself, and I came up with it. Shout out to Spaceman, who does the timing sheets.
Yeah, huge shout out to that. It's very helpful.
Yeah, you want to have another shout? KD was up on his time a little bit as he rounds the penultimate corner and see what the Red Bull driver can put here in the Hungaro ring. Hopefully does not DNF in the first corner like Sergio Perez. He did not improve. I don't know what happened.
No, he didn't.
That's unfortunate.
Nor did Hightower. Mopower Cowboy is up on his time right now, looking like he might be able to get into the 116s. We see 8 drivers sitting in there so far. Mopower trying to do so. If he can get into 116.8, that puts him into at least 7th place. He's coming around the final turn here, extending that line as much as possible, and then he comes over the line, and goes into the 116.7s, and we have a retirement. It looks like EDA Murphy has called it quits for the rest of this qualifying here. But we're running out of time here, just over or around a minute left in the session. A lot of drivers are just taking their times for what they are. KB, followed by a McLaren, followed by another Aston Martin, with Nicky going fourth. Wow, that's a big jump.
64. You go, Nicky.
That's a really good jump for Nicky there. Sherry Coleslaw seems to be next over the line.
I think he's slightly up on his time.
Oh, and it looks like Ray spun out. Is that Race Day coming around the final turn? No, he's in Sector 2. It's actually got Palmer starting a hot lap. Hightower, I think he's looking to try and improve, and he is currently up on his time. He's come over the line and loses some major time into Sector 3. Helg cannot improve here. He's still stuck at a 118.5. He might be having a little bit of issues after the update.
Race day around the final corner. Let's see what time he can put on the board. Can he challenge Nancy for pole? That's the correct little snap of oversteer there. Now it's going to be well off his time. The 117.7. That's unfortunate for race day. Lanzi is on a hot lap. I assume he will finish that out. Palmer still has an outside shot at pole, up at 10th through Sector 2.
Mopower into the pit.
Ninas around in Sector 3. Hopefully he doesn't get in that Ferrari's way.
Yeah.
Hightower around. Hopefully he doesn't get in that Alpha Tari's way.
Sharia should be into the pit. Soy Loco next, but he's invalid. AlphaTauri, is that Got Palmer? Yes, it is. Got Palmer looking to try and take pole, coming around the final turn here. He really needs to get on the power. And extends the line as much as he can, and he will come over the line and just does sneak away pole the last second. But here we go. We got Lancey. Lancey's a little bit off his time, and he spins in the final turn. So that will be pole for Got Palmer. Anyone else have a chance? No, I think that may be it. Is that KD? It's Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper cannot improve. KD's into the pit, and a Hightower, I think, yeah, he's way off his time into the 138s, 140s now. Jesus.
What a show in qualifying. Nice little end there.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting qualifying. Got Palmer taking it into injury time. And he will be sitting with Pole and Lancey too. Nicky with a very surprising P4. That's a very good position for him. Sherry Coleslaw as well, showing some pace. We'll get into the rest of the order. But, qualifying doesn't make the race. You never know what can happen here.
Yeah, Tournament Hungary is always a fun one, as we've said like 4 times already. But I'm excited to see how these guys do. We have top 10s all within the 1/16th, so that's nice. And we'll have to see if they can keep that pace up during the race. I was on board there with Reefer. I almost said Reefer.
All right, but I've got the qualifying order up here for everyone. ADA Got Palmer, as we saw, very late, taking pole position away from Lancey, so we'll see what those two can do. Cannot forget about Race Day 2016, and he comes over third, and he'll be alongside Nicky. Sharia Coleslaw with KB, Mopawa Cowboy, and Murph and Sally line up alongside each other in the 4th row. Dusty Lusky and PWR Grim Reaper in 10th. Dirty Boy Jackson alongside KD. Ray E46 with A. Daltonian. Soy Loco 87 alongside Zed Sui. Houdini and Helg, and in the back of the pack we see Hightower and Superninas, who just couldn't get it together here. But like we said, it doesn't make the race. There's still plenty of laps to go here. This is just the start.
35 laps. We got a show in front of us. And I want to give a shout out to Nicky64. I think that's the only top 10 qualifying of his life. He's a terrible driver. No, I'm joking. Nicky's usually pretty consistent. Almost punted me out in my first D2 race in was it? Azerbaijan, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's definitely better shout-outs than that.
There is, but I think I needed to stick it to him after I got made fun of for something I did in a different game by Nicky.
Okay, yes, looking for a little bit of revenge then, I guess.
Yeah. If you know about Minecraft, I was building a farm for him, and he did not like that I didn't build it as much as he wanted to, and I heard about it. So he's going to hear about this on the broadcast when he listens to it back. Yeah, that's right, Nicky. Yep. Text me on Discord and tell me you're mad at me.
He took you into his office and lit you up, eh?
Yeah.
At least he didn't do it in front of your coworkers.
That's good. Yeah, no. On the bright side this week, that was a voice crack. On the bright side this week, we won't have me gifting Crash points or whatever it is in Twitch and having the first lap being just Crash's face.
Yeah, that didn't settle with a lot of people. A lot of people are a little angry about that one there.
I thought since I was not in the state of Pennsylvania, I'd cause some controversy. Instead of roasting people in the booth, I would make it miserable to watch, and I did a good job of it.
Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah. I'm surprised Pork Chop didn't take you to his office and light you up there.
No, it was just trying to mess with some guys. I didn't think you would actually do it, but
I had to.
Yeah, you couldn't talk either. Mother Ellie decided to join in on that one.
Yeah, and she put up the minute timer of me not talking either, so that was an exhilarating first lap for sure.
Yeah. Oh, good memories. No, I was in Atlanta. Caught a Braves game. It was really hot down there, so that's all I did. But hey, I'll take my Bravos winning every day of the week.
Holy Christ. Okay. We are half hour into the stream. My room is absolutely freaking cooking here. And I'm ready to get into it. We have to remember there's no formation lap. Unless I still think there's no formation lap as of right now because there's some sort of glitch to do with it.
You can't hear your engine or something.
Yeah, but quickly while we have a moment here, we'll bring up the Hungaroring for everyone that is new to Hungary. 14 laps makes up this circuit. 2 DRS zones, fairly short pit straight, and a second short DRS zone. But do not count that second DRS zone out. It does offer up some passing opportunities around turn 2, as well as some potential in turn 4. But anywhere else throughout the lap, maybe up to turn 12, is pretty much all she wrote. But we have 5 red lights here, and they go out. Got Palmer leading the way, Lancey in second, and it looks like Raceday gets a really good jump, and he's already up into first. Raceday has some great pace coming down into turn 1, and he has gone from third to first. Got Palmer looking to go around the outside there, but Raceday has got it held up. Lancey back down in 3. Nicky's already dropped down into 7th place. A lot of positions moving all over the place here, and Got Palmer's trying to come back at his teammate here, Raceday, but Raceday holds on as we swing through turn 2. We've got quite a few position changes throughout the middle of the order here, as we see KD up the inside line of Nicky, as Nicky continues to lose positions, now down into 9th place. Not the start he was hoping for. We have the 2 Alpines and Mopao and Soy Loco going at it there, as well as A. Daltonian looking at PFWR Grim Reaper there, but could not get it done. Houdini and Sui, the 2 Williams, battling it out there, as we see quite a few team-on-team contests, and Sui looks like he's got it in the end, but up the inside line looks Houdini, but Sui is able to hold out, and Sui still in 16th. Super Ninas and Helg, formal Division 1 battles between those 2 guys. And so Loco is already out, and that is not what you want to see so very early on. That should be at least a VSC, I'd imagine. But yeah, did you catch that? I wasn't on board with that at all.
No, I was on board with Murph and Sally trying to get past KB there, but the yellow flag stopped that battle. One thing I do want to note, race a good start as we said, but I do not like that we cannot see if it's a VSC or a safety car. That does bother me quite a bit.
Yeah, does it? Oh, it's VSC. The little broadcaster trick here. You can look at the flags, I guess, on the side of the racetrack. That's how I tell. But quickly, we'll have a moment here. We'll pull up the tires for everyone. A mass majority on the mediums here. Mixed throughout are some hards, that being KB, Ray, Mopawa, Grim Reaper, Hightower, and Houdini, as Houdini's already into the pit.
Yeah, not where you want to be after lap 1, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, Porkshops is saying after tonight there's going to be another driver from here going up into Division 1, so it seems like we're going to be having another Division 1 retirement after this evening. Oh,
my. May know who that is.
You do?
I do.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure you can spill the beans here.
Hey, we're back racing, and the Beans are Texas Beach is going to be retiring after tonight and going into reserve for a little bit, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks to hear him go.
Oh my gosh, Dirty Boy Jackson and Mervyn Sally. Side by side through 13 and side by side through 14.
Oh, we can't forget about KD. KD actually looking up the inside line there as well.
These guys battling tooth and nail, inch by inch. KD's going to come back at DBJ. We're going to go 2 by 2 into turn 1. What is going on?
Oh,
done. But now KB's not going to get the switch back. We still got the Red Bull power units battling it out. And actually, KB is going to help out KD by keeping Dirty Boy Jackson at bay. No, he is not. KB is now under threat. Through turn 3 we go. And we're side by side with the turn 4. Who has bigger cojones? We'll have to find out in 2 seconds. It's going to be Dirty Boy Jackson getting the move done on both drivers. And KD's going to come back at them. Oh my gosh. This is awesome.
Yeah, very good battling between these two guys. You can tell kind of how much KB is really fighting these hards early on here. KD did not like that 100-meter sign and just destroyed it for no reason at all. But yeah, very hard fought battling from KB, but it just seems like those mediums at this point right now are the quicker tire for sure. I mean, as everyone would expect. But KB's doing a really good job trying to hold on to those bad boys.
Yeah, I do think starting on the hards is better, so you don't have to do that dreaded outlap in the middle of the race with cold hards. that is never fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Race is actually going to take the fastest lap. I didn't see that changing much.
So,
let's see. Quick battle. It's Ray. Okay. Oh, never mind. There's somebody around. That's Super Nines.
Super is really struggling here in Hungary. That's about his like third or fourth spin already. You counting qualifying.
He can get back going. Some hot tires.
Well, let's see. These leaders are starting to break out. Murphy-Sally's just sitting outside of that DRS section. He's going to want to try and gain back that time. Currently just hovering around losing it, and currently just losing a little bit more speed every time. And we got Helg spun out, and Helg is losing some major positions there as well. Seems to be okay, but now he's got Hightower coming up his inside line. He spins out again with those hot mediums. And he's going to have to give those bad boys a little bit of time to cool down.
Yeah, if you have hot tires in Hungary, I'll tell you what, it's not easy to cool them off. One of the tracks that they overheat a lot. And tire wear is usually pretty high. So I wonder if we'll see any one-stops. I'm sure we will. I think a two-stop is also viable here as well. Actually, Ray goes wide through 13, and Cowboy looks at the move on the inside there, but thinks better of it as the DRS straight is coming up closely. But let's get back to that battle for the lead. It's got Palmer on race day in the turn 1. They're very close. Taking turn 1 and now turn 2. Let's see. I think that is Helg around again with hot tires. And battling down to turn 2. Race day is not going to let him go down the inside. What a good defense by the AlphaTauri driver. And he has no battery. That's something you might want to look at.
Oh, and now got Palmer's deploying some. Took a peek at the inside line, but did not feel like it was viable there. But race day goes off slightly and almost had enough for Got Palmer to sneak through, and now Got Palmer just continually pestering him with every turn. And oh my god, Helg is just on the absolute struggle bus with these mediums right now. Cannot get the car into the pit, unfortunately. But still back on board with Got Palmer. Sorry, just continually draped over race day here, and he looked like he had a really good shot to swoop down the inside line, but instead gave a little bit of a nudge to race day, reminding him that he's right behind him. And Got Palmer's looking very fierce right now in Hungary, and as soon as he can get through race day, I'm sure he'll be able to drive off in the distance. Then it kind of gets on to if Delancey can get through him. But we're swinging around the final turn. Why don't you take it away there, Shelly?
Yeah, I'll take it away. Coleslaw and Murph back in the DRS when these top two battling, and easy overtake here for Palmer. He's going to get that move done pretty convincingly in the turn 1. Actually, I apologize. Race Day's going to come back at him and not going to get the DRS. So Got Palmer's got that move done. But what he doesn't got, Lancey's now behind Got Palmer, gets past Race Day, and he's going to fight around the outside once again. He would not let these guys go through any easier than, I've lost the analogy. But hey, tried the defense, didn't work. Lancey up in the P2. Moving down the order, top 5 all within DRS, and there's a 3-second gap to DBJ, and a couple DRS trains within there, but nothing to note as of now. But Murphy has picked up the pace, and he's keeping pace with these top 5 guys. I'd like to see it. Kind of a revenge tour from him getting demoted from D1 down D2, and trying to make it back up to D1 next season.
Yeah, it would show how tight Division 1 and Division 2 are. You know what? Okay, that's probably not the best. It would show just the perseverance of someone getting demoted from Division 1 down to Division 2, then coming back and then pulling through. Grim Reaper actually looks like he gets let by there by KD. Grim Reaper's looking like he's showing some solid pace here on these 5-lap-old mediums. And KD seemingly sensed that and allowed him through. And actually, KD's going to come into the pit 5 laps deep on these mediums. I'm curious on exactly why. Maybe a little bit of damage, potentially. But now at this point here, we're 7 laps in, or on to the 7th lap we are. Got Palmer has gotten back up into the lead. Lancey back up into 2nd place. We match our 1, 2, 3 from qualifying. Actually, do we match our 1, 2, 3, 4? No, we don't. Not exactly there. We match our 1, 2, 3 from qualifying. Got Palmer, Lancey, and Race Day. And Race Day just seems like he cannot keep up with these 2 drivers up ahead, because they look so quick.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to see Race Day having some competition. Seems like kind of blew D3 out of the water last season. and he's getting a little bit of a taste of his own medicine trying to fight for these podiums here in D2, where he rightfully belongs. Has shown very good pace so far during this race. But Coleslaw's actually all over the back of race. He's going to send it. That is turn 12, and he's going to get that move done with that ERS deploying. What a move by Slaw. Getting up there into P3 for the Ferrari driver. You love to see it.
And now you can't count out Murph and Sully here either. Murph is looking really fast around the final turn here, taking a far sharper line, but almost loses it. Still within a quarter of a second and gaining on this double slipstream that is. And actually looking at the inside line, he's going to try and outbrake Race Day now. Up the inside line he goes, forces Race Day deep. Both of them are going to get DRS once again. Race Day doing a very good job in defense there. And he will surely hold on to 4th place. Coleslaw still up into 3rd, and the two drivers, like I said before, got Palmer and Lancey, taking this opportunity of the drivers in behind, battling it out, and increasing that gap to 2.5 seconds now, and I'm sure that will continually grow as those two get ever so quicker. But continuing off this thought of these two drivers up ahead, got Palmer and Lancey, with them being so tight on pace, got Palmer just slowly increasing that gap ever so slightly there. But it may come down to a pit stop strategy. And as well, like you said before, the struggle of getting those hards to warm up, kind of maybe an undercut, could be extremely valid, having that extra lap to get them going in comparison and making that time up.
Yeah, I wonder when these mediums are going to die out.
Mo Power spun out, and KD's gone too.
I was just about to praise him.
And that's a full safety car. Yeah, I can tell you used my trick there.
Yeah, but guess what? The top 3 missed the pit window, and the safety car is out. That is fortunate. So they will not get their free pit stop. Race Day does dive in, so he will take over the lead of this race when everything is said and done. Let's see what tires everybody puts on. Race Day goes with the softs. I don't know if that's an error or that's bold strategy.
Oh my goodness! So he's definitely going to have to pit at least once more. But maybe relying on maybe another safety car, or maybe with these softs, and especially with Murph and Sully going on the hards, Race Day, he better open up that gap instantly. Like, as soon as the safety car comes in, Race Day needs to pull away as much as possible, because you imagine all these people that are going to come to the pit are going to go onto the hards and potentially try and run them to the rest of the race.
Yeah, maybe a medium, soft, medium. That's the only strategy I think that he's trying here.
Yeah.
You're not going to do soft, soft, or soft, maybe 4 sets of softs. You never know.
No, that's true. We can't discount that either. Hey, we don't even... I mean, it looks really sunny there in Hungary as well. I don't imagine we're going to be getting any wets.
No, it's pretty clear.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, no, I was about to congratulate KD. I thought that was a bold call going on the hard so early. Maybe saw something that we didn't see up here in the booth with the mediums, but it did spin out on those hards. He had a lap, so they weren't cold. I guess just maybe there was less grip available than the mediums, and Spinala into, what is that, turn 5? Yeah,
I think it was turn 4, actually. He was just around the outside. Oh, yeah. So it was a mistake for Race Day.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, almost at that point, like, do you just send them? Like, because this now has just, like, completely ruined his race.
I wouldn't say ruined, but it's definitely ruined the advantage he had on.
Well, I mean, it almost pretty much does, because the guy goes from being like a potential first, like all these drivers up ahead are staying out, but now he's sitting at 15th place, like, and now he's on the same strategy as. Like, he gained absolutely... I guess he's still around with Gott Palmer, but Lancey opted to stay out on the medium, so we'll see how that plays out.
And that's a poor choice, in my opinion. I don't think we'll get another safety car. I know that one car brings out a safety car, but we saw last week that should have been a safety car with text, and it wasn't anything. So I'm not sure. I don't think staying out here is the right call. I think you need to pit now and put on those hards. I think they can do 25 laps around Hungary, so
But now we got to be honest here. There is a universe where Lancey has chosen the best strategy. We have no idea what's going to happen on in the future here for the rest of this race. There is a possibility where this decision by Lancey turns out to be godlike. Will it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's one thing. We do not know the future, but we can try and predict it the best we can with prior knowledge.
Yeah. Off of percentages, it doesn't look good. but you never know. There's also a future where Race Day wins this race. Like, even with that.
Super Nenex. You never know.
Yeah. Even, hey, Helg re-enters the car, and he wins the race.
I think that's not going to happen, but I like your optimism.
Yeah. Hey, there's a future where we win this race.
I could be. I didn't quit. I could be in this race. You never know.
This could have been me. I could have been spinning out and DNFing.
Could have been me, man. Could have been.
I love that. You're just watching sports. It's like, God, they're paying this guy $10 million to drop a fly ball. I can do that.
Oh my gosh! Did you see where ESPN brought out I think it was 5 people that tweeted at college football that they can make these easy field goals, and they just terrible.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I think I could do it. I've kicked a 50-yarder with a soccer ball.
Oh, well, hey, that's something to be proud of.
It's pretty good. Actually, fun fact. So in grade 11, I technically failed English, so I went to summer school. And then in the grade 11 classroom, or in my grade 12 classroom assignment, because it went off of the past year's results or whatever, it was still deemed technically in grade 11, even though I was in grade 12 and I passed, and I went through into grade 12. So on the report, I still showed as grade 11. So after the year was done, and I graduated and everything like that, when me and my buddies were at the soccer field at the end of school year in the summer or whatever, and the Pitt football team, they came out to play. I took the soccer ball to midfield and I kicked it up through the upright, and then it was very nice to have this situation where the football coach came up to me and asked me if I wanted to play. He's like, "Oh, the guy said that you're in grade 11. You're in grade 11. Do you want to play?" I'm like, "Oh no, sorry. I actually graduated. I'm actually I was actually just grade 12 and everything." But it was kind of nice. It was good that having an actual coach wants your services.
Yes.
Who just spun? Mo Power Cowboy loses it, and he goes down the order. Oh my God! Just an awful area to do so, and Hungary is just showing its teeth and then some.
Well, safety car's in this lap, and one thing Mo Power Cowboy wishes it was a next lap. Going through the order, we got Race Day and Suey battling left, right, and center. Race Day trying to get a fast start on a couple of guys. That's Nicky64 spinning around after turn 1, and he's going to be very disappointed in himself all the way down the order, but not past Mo Power Cowboy. Didn't fall down that far. Closest battle on track right now. We got Palmer and Adol Tony, and that's Palmer around. Oh no, he's going to spin kind of on the racing line. Be careful, folks. Don't cause on the DNF, please. And Palmer, oh my gosh. All right, we're okay.
Oh my God. It is you can just see the struggle of all these drivers with these hards. They've obviously cooled off here. And it's been probably so tough to get them back up to race temperature. And I imagine at this point now they're getting there. So everyone should be, knock on wood, should be fairly safe at this point in danger of low temperature tires spin. But I mean, there's all these other factors. If we're in Canada, you got to watch out for groundhogs, I think it is.
Yeah, we got groundhogs, a very vicious animal. I like the Wolverine or Badger.
Yeah, top of the food chain they are, groundhogs.
Yeah, most definitely can take on 7 lions and fight for sure.
But Lancey has increased that gap up to 2 seconds here. Murphy looking to try and get Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper was hard defending the inside line, but Murphy like, nah, I want that. And goes right up the inside on Grim Reaper, and it looks like he gets the move done. And actually, Dirty Boy Jackson, Johnny on the spot, actually comes through as well. And Dirty Boy Jackson's looking good in this race as well. Him and Murphy are on really good strategies at this point here. And we'll see if they can keep pace with these drivers up ahead or even close this gap. But Lancey, 2 seconds ahead of KB.
Race day into turn 4. Oh my gosh, he almost did. I know, but Coleslaw racing and past 8 Eltonia down the start-finish straight. Both DRS zones. I don't think a DRS is activated yet, but they got past 8 Eltonia. And then race they try to get past the Coleslaw. A very ambitious move there from the AlphaTauri driver. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah, now it's going to be very difficult here for Lancey because, I mean, how long do you go before you pit? Like, because you really got to think that all these drivers are going to try and send these hards to the end. Like, do you just try and run these things until you can, like, send some softs out for, like, 7 or 8, like 8 or 9 laps or something and try and pick off all the old hard drivers?
Crash, I think that's a viable option on the last year's game. I don't think the softs are going to last around here more than 4 laps. I think they're toast after that. You know, I was doing some practice. I think it's 11% a lap on the softs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But let's talk about softs. Let's talk about Hightower and Dusty Lusky getting past Hightower with that DRS. And will his teammate follow him through? He will not. Or it's not his teammate. That's Sloth.
Oh.
He's going to take his teammate around the outside of turn 2? Turn 3, turn 2.
Oh, and Race Day getting super aggressive as well, trying to sneak up the inside line there of turn 3, that was. But just unfortunately misses out. But Christ, that was some close driving.
Yeah, you love to see it, especially down here in Div 2. Shows the race graphic pace for Div 1. Oh my gosh! In your next game's mode. Race Day getting past Hightower in turn 7. You love to see it.
That was a crazy little lunge there. Hightower was ready for that. If Hightower could have tried to turn in on that, but then the Race Day would have 100% collected him, and then that would have been it. And I think Hightower understands Race Day's got more pace, and there's no real need to battle that one out and risk his race from that point on. Super Nino's losing a couple positions there. I don't know if that was via a spin. Murfincelli looks like he's actually cleared his teammate Ray. I imagine Ray might have let him through. And now it's Ray's turn to try and do the Fernando Alonso for Murfincelli here with Dirty Boy Jackson, the closest person on the same strategy as Murfincelli, being split between Ray to Murfincelli there. Sui and Aid Altonian actually going at it for 11th and 12th there, and they're still continually looking to fight this one out. And looks like Sui's going to hold position from this point out. But, I mean, we got to see what Ray can do here in defense. And Dirty Boy Jackson's actually spun.
Quick reactions to get off the line.
Was there contact?
I don't believe so. I believe he just kind of lost it. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, that wasn't stupid. Maybe it was stupid. We don't know if it's stupid. Keep it close, boys. Keep it tight.
Oh.
No, I believe he spun coming up the turn 4, took too much of an inside curve, and then very quick to throw it in reverse and get off that racing line. So I do applaud DBJ for that.
I don't know if that contact between Dirty Boy and Hightower was Hightower's fault. It looked like Dirty Boy was very much up on his inside there. And now Dirty Boy is already looking to show a little bit of pace here, trying to get through A. Daltoni. He's back down in 12th place. But that leaves a major gap now for Murfincelli here to Dusty Lusky, actually, who's worked his way major up the order. We see Ray now spin the Haas around the final turn. And he is not really in the racing line, but now he's got to try and get back going here. And, oh, my God, Hungary. I mean, I don't want to be rude here, but it's just made a fool of just so many D2 drivers this evening.
Yeah, P4 to P12, and that's been lost 8 places and definitely kicking himself, trying to fend off Nicky 64.
It is not over at this point, though. Like, you don't know who's going to spin. Like, we've had so many spins already. Like... you just gotta. If you just don't spin, it seems like you can get a top 3 at this point.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Oh, and a penalty to Ray. Ouch. That'll definitely make things tougher.
Yeah, that's the second one tonight. I didn't see Mopawa's 3 second, but apparently he has one as well. We never went over the biggest winners and biggest losers. I guess we'll kind of do that now with a little bit of downtime. Biggest winner, Hightower, up 11 spots. Good for the Ferrari driver. Biggest loser, that would be Gata Palmer. After that unfortunate spin on the safety car restart, or a little bit after the safety car restart, but same lap. So very unfortunate. Oh, we have another spin. Speaking of spins, that's Nicky 64. Yep. Yeah, that's what you get. I mean, yeah, Nicky, all love watching this. I just like to bust your balls every now and then. Hightower 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and now Alfa Romeo's going to split
Dirty
that.
boy!
DBJ! Yeah, DBJ with not a dirty move, a very clean move. And now the turn one, he's going to fight Sui off. I'm going to have to applaud that. Oh, don't get into his back wheel. What a move by DBJ on lap 17.
Oh, we can't count out Hightower looking around the outside there in turn 2, but Sui shuts the door. And Dirty Boy now picks up a couple positions after that spin there. Back up into 8th place, but quite a few time to him and Murph and Selly there. Lancey has grown that gap to 4.5 seconds. And I imagine if he just knows that if he can keep that gap steady, or it doesn't look like it's going to be growing as much as it was before, these mediums, are probably on the verge. But it's been a pretty good race so far, man. Like this has brought some proper excitement.
Yeah, for all the people that said the Hungary sucks, I'd like you to watch this race back at least 3 times and tell me what you think of it after that. It hasn't been really some dull time until about the last half lap, I should say, is the only time where it's been pretty calm. Back to pack's actually heating up right now with Super Bananas under pressure from Houdini and Got Palmer. That's a post-battle on track along with Murph and KB. Murph's trying to pick up some places up there. Trying to move into P2. That'd be, I think, his best deep finish. I'm not sure. Don't fact check.
Super Ninas pulls off to the side here, allowing some other drivers to go through. Kind of just focusing on his race. And Lancey with a huge 3-second time penalty. That hurts. And it looks like Palmer actually got through Houdini as well.
Yep, 3-second penalty to Lancey, and hey, that makes that lead a lot less comfortable for him and a lot more comfortable for KB. Less ground for him to cover. Sitting at around 5 seconds right now between P1 and P2, so we'll see how that comes around once Lancey has to pit, because he will have to pit eventually. But trying to find a close battle crash. Murph and Selly is actually taking up the pace on KB every time I look up, so I'll stick on board with the Haas driver.
Yeah, it could have a potential. It has potential for a move here in turn 1. Murph and Selly up 5 positions off of race start. He's on far fresher hards. I still think that these hards that KB is on still has quite a few life in it. And then Houdini. I believe that is Houdini.
No Power Cowboys round.
No Power Cowboy round in turn 1.
Every time somebody spins, I just hold my breath.
Yeah, especially around here. There is area to kind of avoid, but it's tough to get back into the mix, as we saw with Dirty Boy Jackson on his re-entry there after turn 4.
Yeah, one shot I will give. Lance still has most of his battery on with KB, 70% for KB. Murph and Sully is actually under 20% already. Yeah, so for track you can't really recover. That is not ideal for the sports bettors on the Houdini or on the Murph and Sully over 3rd place. I think the Hunter's going to hit on that. Race day is actually all the way back up to P6, so kudos to me for giving the guy some hope, I should say. All the way from the back of the pack to P6 since the safety car restart, and guess what? He's got Dusty Oleski in his sights.
And him and Dusky were both down in Division 3 last year, if I'm not mistaken. No, where was Dusty? Dusty was... Dusty was Division 2 and ended up finishing 6th. So no slouches, Dusty Lusky. And once again, Murph and Selly here really close onto the back of KB as we enter into turn 1. Does he have enough coming out of the exit? And doesn't look so. Not deploying the ERS. The Mopao Cowboy has retired in the pits. And we have a Haas spun out around turn 9, and that is Ray picking himself back up. And oh my goodness gracious, the over on the spins on this race have just been smashed at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. Somebody else that spun that you missed, Nikki64, spun around as well, so putting him down in that P14. Not the best race for the Wisconsin man. And I think Hightower's around as well. Yeah, Hightower's around as we're talking about spinning. He's actually beached. I know he's not. He's going to get DSQ'd. Oh, wow. Surprised I didn't.
So, race day is just draped all over the back here. Ray picking up a penalty. Just kind of putting salt in the wound at this point. Race Day is going to be in tough to try and overtake Dusty because Dusty's going to have DRS on Grim Reaper. So that's just going to aid his situation there. You need a really good run here from Race Day. And a big snap of oversteer there in the second last turn. Turn 13 is really not going to make it any easier at this point. And it actually may offer up a little bit of a potential overtake here for actually Dusty Lusky, as Lusky was trying to get into the slipstream there of Grim Reaper, but Grim Reaper opted to change the lines, and we have the Google Chrome wheels going down the inside line with Grim Reaper going very deep around turn 1. And oh no, Dusty Lusky has spun. Dusty Lusky hits the inside wall of turn 1, and he's waiting for the AlphaTauri to clear. And it looks like he can't even get back on the racetrack.
Yeah, half of his wing is gone, so I think we will have to pit. And from P4.
Oh,
don't fact check me. Down to P10. That is an unfortunate spinada for the McLaren driver. And hot tires.
Sorry, Sui. Now trying to go back at Dusty Lusky as he's coming onto the track, and he should be able to clear him, and he does. And now Houdini is just in behind Sui. Actually picked up the position on his teammate Houdini. And now Lusky, I'm not sure how hard he's going to fight this one out. Houdini's trying to look at the inside line here of Lusky. But Lusky's just holding out, and with this happening, Sui is just gaining that time and increasing that gap. Lancey's in the pit. I don't know if you're about to mention that, but finally Lancey comes into the pit. What is he going to go for at this point? Grim Reaper is well into the pit, and Lancey does go for the hards.
Race Day's actually got the move done on Grim Reaper. He was very close to him on the back. We'll have to see where Lancey comes out in relation to Race Day. Nowhere close. And Coulthard actually gets the jump on Lancey as well, so Lancey's going to have to catch up for the rest of the 13 laps that we have remaining.
Lancey's having to battle right out of the pit here on these cold hards. Dirty Boy Jackson is around the outside line here on turn 2, and it's going to be very tough. Ooh, is that contact? It might have been a little bit of contact. Lancey probably in his best interest to allow Dirty Boy Jackson through here. And he's swerving to try and warm up these tires. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think the hards are the tires that are on this game. And you can just see how much pace that he does not have right now on this out lap, unfortunately. If I look at the gap to the leader, we'll have to see 14 seconds back from KB. And I think KB is actually the one who has to pit in the top 6. So definitely some ground to make up sooner than later would be ideal. Speaking of ideal, Murphy is in the ideal spot to take the race in the lead. He's not going to have to deal with somebody giving KB DRS like these other guys. So it will just be a straight pace battle. Actually, Race has the fastest lap on the softs. Said, "Hi, I'm going to show you Hungary. You can't take my pace away from me." And throws a cookie in the cookie jar.
If I'm finishing last, I'm taking that point.
Oh, yeah. You must. If you don't...
Lancey, sorry, back down at Dirty Boy Jackson now. It only took him a lap to get these things going, and he's right back at him. And he's got the DRS to try and help him once again, but Lancey quickly overtakes Dirty Boy Jackson, so that's really good for him. He still has quite a bit of time to try and close up to the leaders, but still, that's a good first step. And another spin there. It looks like Houdini. No, is it Nicky? No. Who is that? Ray? It is Ray. Ray spun.
He spun 3 times. He actually spun while you were talking about the Lancey overtake on DBJ. He spun in turn 13. So that's counter of 3 for Nick Key. Little rhyme going there. Love to see it. But hey, Mercantile is actually very close to KB again. Have to see if anything comes to fruition.
Yeah, good point. Murph and Selly now. And there we go. KB's actually into the pit. So now Murph and Selly will go up into net lead of the race. He's got 12 full laps. 13, I think it is actually. No, 12. To try and hold that 6-second gap to Race Day. But Race Day's got 10 lap fresher tires. And remember how I said there's a universe where Race Day can win this race? This may be the universe. Lancey's back up into 4th now, and he's as well trying to close this gap, but he's got a major gap up to those leaders. But
he just said fastest lap crash, so you never know.
He did. He's already grown that gap to Dirty Boy Jackson to nearly 2 seconds, so he's putting the foot down. But he's got to close major time, though. Major time.
Oh my God, Palmer in turn 2 on KB on those cold mediums. He can't really fight that well. Or can he? What a defense on lap 24. KB fighting off. God, Palmer, what a move. KB was actually talking about in the off-topic chat earlier how he didn't think he had pace anymore in this game. And that's a Haas around. That's right. That's not Murph and Silly. Got a little excited there.
That's the second time we've come around this turn and Ray's been spun at that exact spot.
Yeah, maybe it's throttle input.
He does not like turn 5. Or his throttle does not like turn 5.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Oh, KB is now really increasing this time onto Got Palmer now. These mediums are really, really showing well. Lancey has chipped away, I think, about a second, actually, on Murph and Selly. So
I think half a second, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking good for the D2 newlywed of Murph and Selly.
Oh, he got married?
Yeah, he got married last season. Sport, somewhere around there. Well, newlywed, new to D2, but it fit with his marriage.
Now his new marriage to Division 2.
Yeah. So, works out in the end. See, the analogies just take a minute to process because they're so good. And what's so good is Grim Reaper and 8 Eltonia down at the turn 1. They're fighting a switchback from the Reaper man, and guess what? He got the plan. He's up in the P8. What a move.
And Dusty Lusky actually clears his teammate there, Super Ninas. But as well, Race Day is closed a second off of the time to Murph and Selly. But even though you close that gap and you catch him, you still got to pass him. And Race Day is dripped dry of ERS. As well as Murph and Selly, though.
You said again, dripped dry?
Yeah.
Dripped dry of ERS. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the D1 drivers, Kent Better, did crash out because he had started a party. That's a good shout. But Lancey's all over the coleslaw, and with that 3-second time penalty, we'll have to gap Slaw a little bit. But I think the move will be pretty straightforward with DRS activated. Slaw's going to try his best to battle, but hey, I think you should tap this one out, buddy. Down to turn 1. Hey,
he's actually...
Oh my! Didn't let the switchback happen.
But he's got the inside into turn 2. Keep going.
No, they're side by side, Crash. That's all I'm getting at here. See that Rich and Millie logo on there? Because that's the only thing I can see on the coleslaw car. And cannot fight with Lancey up in the P3. So he's gonna go fight Race Day and Murph in Selly.
Yeah, now 9.5 seconds back. He's got 9 laps to go. But as well as that 3-second time penalty, Race Day still needs to try and close that gap to Murph and Selly. He needs to clear about at least a half a second every lap on him. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it is it's not over here.
It's not until it's over.
But now the race has opened up and then some. Almost every battle is separated by at least a second and a half other than Sharia Coleslaw. But Sharia is not on the pace of Lancey. But he's got to try and do the best he can because Lancey does have that 3-second time penalty. But Lancey is just on such fresh hards right now. And he looks like he's got them up to temperature and he is looking really good.
Ironically, the two of the top 3, that being Race Day and Lancey from quality, pretty good in the race. But Murph and Selly, coming from all the way in P8, has had a pretty nice race for himself. KB sets the fastest lap, so we might see him later in this race. He's got to close a pretty good gap on DBJ, so maybe he'll get DBJ. Keep an eye on that battle for you. Coleslaw's lost another 7/10 while I've been talking about nothing. And Dusty is within DRS of Houdini for P12. So that's what the timing sheets look like. What are you seeing on your end, Crash? Because what I'm seeing is a bunch of red and white curves being run over.
Yeah, what I'm actually looking at right now is the position changes. Murph and Selly has picked up the most spots. Dusty Lusky actually just going up through the inside line of Houdini. Does not look like Houdini was trying to battle him out there. Houdini's actually loaded on ERS. If there's any race to have the ability to sell ERS for any sort of profit, it would be this one. And Houdini could come out rich. Oh, and we have another spin there. It looks like maybe Nicky might have been in a little bit of discomfort, but he looks like he's got the car settled back down. Still in 11th place is where he sits. But we continue on, and Lancey's now down to 3.5 seconds on Race Day. Race Day does not look like he's able to close that gap any much more as we stand right now. But Yeah, Lance is still looking really good. Almost has completely cleared Sherry Coleslaw of his penalty as well. So looking to try and get back on the podium is Lancey after that decision to stay out on the mediums through that first safety car. And a second safety car at this point would throw this race into an absolute tailspin.
Yeah, speaking of tailspins, as Palmer's pits for softs, people going for a fastest lap there. Apparently, the D1 race was rain heavy, so that was one to look at on the sheet. Not to commentate, but to look back on, I would be gladly able to do that.
Well, if anyone does have the interest of looking back at the Division 1 race, we have Hotspot up in Division 1 commentating that, and he posts that right to YouTube within the weekend. So if you're at all interested in going and check out what happens in Division 1, just wait until the weekend, and Hotspot will have that up on YouTube for you to all check out.
Yeah, it does some fancy editing, I heard.
Yes. KB is now right into the back of Dirty Boy Jackson. Yes, he does a really good job. But now we're going to look at see if KB can try and jump up into 5th place. Currently sitting in the same position that he qualified in, but he's on far fresher tires as well as quicker tires. And actually, Dirty Boy Jackson opts to jump into the pit at this point.
I think he's going to lose a spot to DBJ and Grim Reefer. Actually,
in the
5-second penalty. Nope. That's bad. That's going to probably drop him below Edeltonian. And maybe Palmer, depending if Palmer can get on with it with those softs. So
Murph and Selly might have had a mistake somewhere because Race Day actually just closed a second out of nowhere.
Oh gosh, it's getting tight.
Yeah, now down at 3.5. Well, it seems like Race Day is closing the same pace to Murph and Selly as Lancey is to both of them. Race Day and Lancey's splits seem to be, the split differential of how far they're off from each other seem to be sticking around the exact same every lap. If Lancey's at 4.5, Race Day's at 4.5. Yellow flag in Sector 1, it looks like someone's just getting out of the way.
No, I think Sui did spin.
Did he?
Yeah, that is for position there with Palmer and Nicky 64. So, yeah, he's back moving though. Love to see it. Love to see it. What else I'd love to see? A Murph and Sally podium. A win would be ecstatic. But we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. Lap 30, only got 5 laps left of this race, and there is another yellow flag. That is RAE taken out. BOARDS boards. He does not like the boards on that corner. That's the 3rd time we've seen him around in that corner. And Tony and Palmer battling a little bit through turn 12. What a nice move there from Palmer on those fresh, soft tires.
Yeah, God Palmer can still get up into 7th place here if he can close a 2.5 second gap to Dirty Boy Jackson. God Palmer has looked like the quickest driver here on the circuit, has found himself into a little bit of unlucky situations, and I proved myself right there as he sets a 118.238 fastest lap, and I don't think at this point this will be overtaken. Race obviously still does have the ability to come back in the pit and try and beat that, but God Palmer has shown some crazy pace now being on fresh softs. He's just going to keep ripping these things into the ground.
Yeah, and guess what? Ripping into that lead is Race Day, 2.5 seconds to Murph and Sele. And you can see him now as he goes through turn 13. You can see the back of that pass. But I'm a little bit thirsty up here in the booth. I can't get the ad in. That's Suey around again. You spin me right round, baby. Right round like a record, baby.
Yeah, so if you are thirsty, actually, other than some solid agua, which is what I'm drinking tonight, other than that Czech beer that I did mention earlier, a good supplement for it as well is a nice ice-cold Raise Energy, MWF1, on checkout. If you're at all interested in Raise Energy, for all of your energy drinks, 0 sugar, 0 crash needs. Yes, 50%? I'm not in the drink. Sorry.
I would love it if you were in the drink. I'm just kidding. That's kind of... Can't say that. DBJ, if you take the fastest lap. And no, you forgot. MWF want to check out 15% off. You got to make sure you mention that 15%. That's the key seller there.
Yes, very true, very true. As well as a shout out to our other sponsors here. SimRacer Coin. Thank you for once again coming back to the league and providing the winners with SimRacer coins at the end of the season. But it looks like KB is very impatient. She goes right up over the sausage curve of turn 6. And that gap that he closed down to Sherry Coleslaw has now jumped back up to over a second. But I'm sure KB will be back fairly soon. maybe did not choose the best area on track to try and get that move done.
I know that can't feel well, but I know that he's in an Aston Martin, and that's actually sponsored by one of our sponsors, EPOS. EPOS software headsets. I'm not sure what they're... EPOS Gaming?
Yeah,
I'm not
EPOS
sure.
Gaming. I just call it that, yeah.
EPOS Gaming. Yeah, EPOS, you can use our link. I believe that there is some kind of discount with a link that's in the Discord, I believe.
Yes, if you are interested in ordering EPOS, be sure to use said link.
Yeah, good headsets, good mics. Crash uses that mic, and I can hear him so clear. It sounds like I'm in the same room as him.
It's very crisp. It is actually a really good mic. But race day is now at 1.7. We have 3 and a bit of laps to go here. The Ferrari there, I think Hightower clears the way.
Oh, DBJ, Grim Reaper. I'm not sure when that move got done, but DBJ now in front of Grim Reaper. Ooh.
Yeah, we can't count out Scott Palmer from potentially coming back at Grim Reaper here, but those softs are going to start wearing down real quick. KB still trying to work on Sherry Coleslaw. He has brought that gap back after going up over the curve that we were just at before their turn 6. And maybe a potential move in the cards here for KB. He's got plenty of life left on these mediums. Does not need to worry about at all saving these things. Where Sherry, I don't think he's babying them at this point, but he does not have the faster tire at all. But race day is nearly within DRS to Murph and Selly. This is coming down to it here, Shelly.
Yeah, speaking of something we forgot, shout Ulek Holevin does all the graphics for the league. Make sure to shout that one out as well.
Very true, very true. But Sherry Coleslaw with a little bit of aid from God. Looks like he got a little bit of DRS from the McLaren there, and that does help him out massively, but a huge switchback attempt here by KB. Now looking at the outside line here through turn 2, but Sherry does a really good job of holding this off, but KB does not care. He wants to send it deeper on the outside, and he will get the move nearly done. Sherry is not done defending here, and he is actually back up ahead of him, coming in through turn 4. 2 does not go into 1, and KB just edges him out. Oh my God, that was some very hard fight battling between both of those drivers. Hats off to both of them there. That was amazing. But race day is within a half a second here for Murph and Selly. Murph and Selly must have made a mistake here somewhere. Race day is right on his tail. Lancey does not look like he's going to have the opportunity, but third place surely is locked up at this point here. But the battle for the win has come down to the final 2 laps here. Has Hamilton and race day not given enough time to get a move done. We are so very close to the end of this race. We have 2 full laps to go. Race day and Murph and Selly, take it away.
Take it away! Murph and Selly trying to defend from race day.
Oh no, Murph and Selly spun! No!
Oh my God.
Murph!
He's been so consistent all day, always capitalizing off of other
people's
people's
mistakes. Oh my God, and here comes KB and Sharia.
Oh, they see the hat slipping, the Impala whipping in the African Savannah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, what a terrible spin. And now he has 3rd place. He did a good job of getting the car back on track, but these hards could be very hot. And now he's got KB on some very much fresher mediums at play here. Sherry Coleslaw still has a chance with these 2 battling ahead, and you can see how much on the back KB is on Murph and Selly. Race day surely will come home with the win. Lancey now looking at 2nd place compared to a 3rd. KB and Murph and Selly are going to continue to battle this one out. We're about to enter into turn 3, and oh my goodness gracious. What happened, man?
I don't know. That's Heartbreak City right there. But hey, Lancey could still win this race. Race is still opted to make any mistakes, as we just saw with Murph and Selly. Thought he had it locked up. But race they put some pressure on him, and Murph crumbles under the pressure.
Oh my goodness gracious! Coming around the final turn here, though, we see KB with a really good run here on Murph and Selly. He's completely out of ERS, but he goes down the inside line here. And oh my God, how did these guys not make contact there? The tires were nearly locked up, but KB does have the move done, and he will go up into 3rd place. Sharia is still just in behind, but Murph and Selly is off the podium at this point. And oh,
Heartbreak City.
Oh my God, and then some. Oh, we got Palmer as well. Got Palmer
Got
looking
Palmer.
around the outside line here on the last DRS, and these tires as well nearly locked up, and God Palmer's not going to give way, but Grim Reaper has the racing line and sends it around the outside. Oh my God, dude.
Take a breather, folks. This isn't the interdivision battle. This is an actual race, and it is very intense to watch. That's going to be race day coming around the penultimate corner. And now, coming around the final corner, Coleslaw gets past Murph,
and Murph spins again.
Race day is going to win the race by a good margin after penalties applied. Lancey comes home P2, and then we'll have to wait a little bit for the rest of the field to play catch-up. Speaking of catch-up, Heinz Field is no longer Heinz Field. That's sad. KB coming across the line, P3. Coleslaw coming across the line, P4. DBJ coming across the line. No, he's not across the line yet. Murphy and Sully's battling God Palmer. God Palmer's around again. And DBJ come around the start-finish straight. That's a P5. That might be a P6, actually.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be P6.
No, P5. No, wait. Yeah, no, wait. Yes, no. He got P5. Murphy P6. Grim P7. Palmer 8th. So, what a race.
Oh my God, dude. What?
Murph with the bottle of the century.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Dirty Boy Jackson, after all that, will actually collect hardest charger. Dude, what?
That's awesome.
That was just crazy.
That's all the haters in the chat who don't like the Hungary ring. It's for all of you. I wonder if Ray's trying to get a puncture here. Lap 14 laps with the softs.
Oh my God.
Oh, he doesn't have a wing. He's been traveling around without a wing for a while.
Murph and Sally said he had 75% on the rears.
Well, you push them to their limit. Ray's actually going to finish the race in the pits. Very gentleman-like. What a race. What a race, what a race, what a race from the Hungary ring. Did they change the name of the track?
Do we get Murph and Sally in for an interview, or like?
I don't think you do.
No.
I think that's up to him. If he wants to come in, more than welcome. If he doesn't, we understand. I'll take us to the order that why you get Race Day, Lancey, KB, and DBJ for sure into the interview room. Race Day 2016, my kind of pick to win the race. I was very hopeful after the safety car restart with the two-stopper he actually pulled off unintentionally. Comes out, wins the race, followed by Lancey P2 with a 3-second time penalty, and KB P3. Coleslaw and DBJ round out your top 5, and then Murph and Sally, Heartbreak City. That's the what is that? Emoticon? Not emoticon. That's Griefer's logo. Down in P7. Palmer 8th, Edaltonian 9th, Nikki 60, Horror in 10th. That rounds out your top 10. But guess what? Everybody scores points here in Midwest. Dusty 11th, Houdini 12th, Hightower 13th, Sui 14th, Super Nines P15, Ray 46th, P16. The Mopawa of the Cowboy P17, Katie 18th. Helg 19th, and Soy Loco 20th. Cowboy, Katie, Helg, Soy all did DNF.
Oh my God. Ray had 4 penalties, equaling just 16 seconds.
Well, that's 16 seconds you can't get back.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we'll get these. We'll get this podium in for an interview here. What in the world was that last little bit? Oh, that was just crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Murph is gonna come in for an interview. Oh, Christ, dude. How do you digest what just happened? I don't even know how to take that in. Like, it's obvious heartbreak, and that is just like the worst thing. Like, so many people were hoping for Murph to take that, and he's gonna come in and he'll discuss it with us. Oh, hey. There we go. A little bit of an Oilers fan there. Kane, McDavid, and Dry will be amazing. Yes, yes, they will, my guy or girl.
They're the Jays. They're not the Jays. What do they call the Leafs? We hate the Leafs.
Oh, fuck the Leafs.
Whoa! That's your one. That's your one.
Yeah, I know, and it's good to use it there.
Should I use mine?
Hey, if it comes naturally. No, save it for Murph so you can show your heartbreak.
Maybe I'll throw both in the same sentence and I'll use one. That way I could use it on multiple things. I was going to Acrisure Stadium, getting rid of Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. Not very happy about that one.
Yeah, that's actually really fucking stupid. Oh, I took yours. Just kidding. No, that's honestly a big piss off that happened. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, and I think I've been boycotting the Steelers for a couple years. I'll tell you that much.
That's just the worst thing about that, right? Is that you get so connected to the name. Like, for the Mariners right now, the last year or two or whatever, they changed their name they changed the stadium name from Safeco to
T-Mobile.
Yeah, and I hate that. Oh,
Safeco is still Safeco. It's not T-Mobile.
I know, it is such a Safeco, like. Oh, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, interview. We're almost ready there. Guys are loading up.
I'll have to find out if they're auctioning off the ketchup bottles. I'll look that up now. I'm very curious.
Oh. Who do we got here? So we got Race Day 2016. Lancey 23 came in second.
One ketchup bottle will remain at Acrisure Stadium.
What was it? KB?
No.
KB.
I didn't write down the podium. I am not good at this job.
KB, yeah, it was KB. KB-0_07. KB-0_ oh, that's KB-0_07. And then
KB got
and Sally.
Yeah, KB got third, and then DBJ is our hardest charger and driver of the day, and Murph is Heartbreak City, so he's coming in here.
I don't know how I just twisted it. What the hell?
DOD and hardest charger.
Oh, okay, there we go.
This is your daily reminder to drink some water if you haven't. Pick up your glass with me and sip on 3.
Are you doing the countdown?
3.
Okay. Man, I've been absolutely sucking back water with this heat. And, like, my room does not help. The AC, like, not having one after having one for, like, 4 years. Oh, my God. My comfort in my room is just, like, gone.
Yeah, I think we can do another water break if you want to. I'm down half a bottle of water. Went on 1, 2, 3 if you want to drink some more water.
Dude, this whole race, I've finished this whole jug. Like, I maxed it with ice and water before.
Wait, leave it up on the stream. I want to look.
Before the race started, and I've just been killing it.
Where are you? There you are. Let's see what you got going on here, Crash. Oh, that's what it is. That's not terrible. How many ounces is that?
Well, as per usual, the rest of the humanity goes off of liters, but this is like 2 liters of water, so half a milk carton, at least.
Pretty good amount of water there.
And this is my second one of the day. I didn't mention that either.
You're hitting that health department quota of water.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, I don't understand how people like that a gallon of water everywhere they go.
Oh,
Like a water.
question in chat: which mistake was uglier, Carlos's in Australia or Charles in France? Oh,
Probably Carlos was on a roll, and then just it wasn't even on a roll. He just kept making mistakes, and it was like, okay, this is expected. Yeah. I didn't even watch the France race. I don't think I've even seen the highlights. I hate the Circuit de Paul Ricard very much. Track to watch. Oh no!
We're just trying to get KB in here, and then we can get on to the interviews here. Rain is coming for Hungary. Who is better in the wet, Carlos or Charles? I just think Charles is just a better driver overall.
Carlos, I think Scornsy won. Yeah, Scornsy did win. Yeah. Okay. Yep, Scornsy did win the D1 race, so he will be back in that fight next week. All right.
It says he keeps clicking it. It doesn't. Oh. What's going on here? Oh my God. Charles hands down far with 2 podiums coming up. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Who is playing with the pole in Hungary? Oh, okay. You guys got him in? Shelly? Shelly? Why can't I hear you now? Shelly.
There we are.
Okay. I'm going to drag everyone in here. We got to get this going.
Get it going. Get it going.
Okay, everyone is in here. We'll go in order here just to make sure everyone's mics are working. Race Day, can you unmute yourself? Just give us a hey.
Hello.
Okay, KB, yours is working. Race Day, Lancy, Murph, and Sally, unmute yourself for a second. Just say something.
Bonjour, mon petit chéri.
Ah. That's very kind of you, but I'm not a woman. Lancy, mic check if you're still there. Race Day. Mic checks. Guys, come on. You're 1 and 2. I need you. Were they all muted before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what, Murph, you're here. So, Lancy, I see you're unmuted. Can you just give us a hey? Make sure your mic's muted. Mic's working. Lancy. Oh my God! You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Lancy, can you hear me? Well, okay, Lancy, I think he's restarting. Race Day, can you unmute yourself for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're good. Lancy, try that again. Okay, I heard your mic.
Does it work?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you're good. Okay, everyone's good. We can hear everyone. All right, Race Day. That was not
Hello.
that win would just did not go as planned, but you got the job done. I heard or saw there that you accidentally let your AR start the race.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were going at 10, and then but then when I went to check back in, we were already underway. So I was like, oh crap! So I just went back in. I apologize to anyone. I did not even expect that at all. But sometimes you gotta expect the unexpected. But yeah, that was a little bit odd. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, very odd. I mean, you got to give your AI the applause. At what point did you pick back up?
Oh, I picked it back up immediately off the start. Yeah, I picked up immediately off the start, like after turn 1.
What I mean, like, he probably had the best ever start. Like,
I need to go back and look at the footage because I don't even know what it looks like. Probably when the stream laps up, but yeah, kind of another thing to add to how one of my best wins I've had.
yeah, I mean, I almost thought that you were chalked at one point, like, after the safety car there. You unfortunately kind of came on for the softs. I imagine that was a glitch, right?
Yeah, it was. I wanted to go to hards, but at first I switched like the softs, and then I wanted to switch to hards, but the game just couldn't let me, so I had to come down again, and I restarted like 15th. I picked the Williams off immediately off the restart, and then cars just either started to drop like flies, or I just started to pick them off one at a time, just like that Ferrari. I made that huge send into one. I don't know how I made that move stick, but yeah, it was tough today, but the win makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine so. Just a quick shout out, thank you, Psycho GTA for the follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, it did not go as predicted. From just like people were flying and spinning all over the track. Did that like change up your way of approaching this race, seeing how many people were like just like all over the track?
That and the fact that I had to watch track limits at like turn 4, or turn 5, because yeah, I don't know. It was quite difficult to keep in track with the track limits as well as trying not to spin myself out. But I just kept my head down, just kept chasing after the leader, and I pushed him into the mistake. And yeah, I just had to keep the car on the track.
And that you did. Shelly, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I had to find the mic button there. Raise Day. I never
Yeah.
lost hope, unlike Crash. Crash did not have faith in you. I did. I want to make that clear. What is the competition like here in D2 versus D3? Because we saw you dominate D3 last season, and hey, you did a pretty good race today.
Yeah, D2 is quite tough. I mean, you got drivers like KV, Lancy, EDA. That in the house, he was trying to give me a good run for my money until he spun out. But as much as I love to dominate, I love to have competition. So if you thought today I saw was good, I'm going to give you a show for the rest of the season. Trust me.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. A little bit of insight into what's to come.
Yeah, you love to hear it and you love to see it even more on track. Speaking of on track, you had a pretty good battle there with Coleslaw. You guys were side by side for a few corners there. Can you tell me about that?
Coleslaw.
Might have not been Slaw.
Which car again?
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Yeah, the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I was kind of like stuck behind him because I believe there was another car ahead that had DRS. And then that car went off. I could be mistaking the wrong Ferrari, but it was kind of frustrating because I know I kept losing more and more time to Lancy because I know Lancy was going to have the tire advantage near the end. But in the end, I just kept my head down, just got around him, and kept pushing.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, you said we can't wait till next week. Do you think you can keep this pace up for the whole season?
Let me check what track is next.
That was actually my next question here.
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada is one of my favorite tracks to ever drive on in the game. So, yeah, expect me to be a big threat there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We love to hear it. I'll kick the ball back over to Crash.
Yeah, so next time that we see you down in Division 2 for casting, we've got it scheduled for September 22nd in Miami. And then we got one more at the end of the year there. But Miami will be the next time we see you late in the second half of the season. Where are you hoping to be at that point?
Miami's a little bit special to me. I used to live near the Miami area for a couple of years, or at least in the state of Florida overall. I can't recall if I lived near Miami, but I'm gonna try to give my home crowd or former home crowd a show. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, hopefully I'll be in the lead of the championship by then. But then again, it's a Midwest. You'll never know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, thank you for coming in for the interview. Very well done. Congratulations on your win.
I'm gonna go take a vacation trip to Vermont here tomorrow. Thank you for letting me appreciate my excitement here on a live broadcast. Thank you. Good night.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming in again. Appreciate that. But here we go. On to Lancey. Lancey coming home in second place, and he's got to be hoping that he didn't have that 3-second time penalty, as well as had a couple more laps where he may be talking to him in first place. But why don't you kind of run me through a little bit of the start there, Lancey, because it didn't go great for you initially, but you brought it back. Lancey. I saw your mic go for a second there. Oh, try again, maybe. Oh, no, we're getting something.
So Lancey.
Lancey,
Hello?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now.
Does it work? Okay.
Yeah, okay, it works now. Did you hear my question there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Well, my start was pretty mediocre, to be honest. I didn't get off at all from the line. Race day had a crazy start.
Yeah.
After that, it was just settling in to the rhythm. Around lap 4 or 5, I got back into P2. The safety car screwed me up a bit because I was just past the pit lane, so we couldn't pit, and I saw everybody was pitting, so I decided to stick it out on the mediums, what worked out pretty well in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, yeah, I picked up a stupid 3 seconds, and then it was mostly damage limitation at that point.
Yeah, ran out of laps there, but Shelly and I were kind of a little bit curious and not 100% backing that decision to stay on the mediums. We felt maybe that the hards might have been a better choice. I mean, you still came around with a P2, so it's tough to really complain about the decision. But kind of coming in late there for the hards, you only left yourself with about 15 laps to go for those hards. Do you think that was the best time to pit for them?
Well, hindsight's always a beautiful thing. I think maybe I could have pitted the lap after the safety car came out, and then I would just be in the middle of the pack. But I was pretty scared to be in the middle of the pack because Hungary is a small track, so a lot can happen. I also saw Palmer had some issues, and he was right in front of me. So in the end, I think I did the best thing to stay out and keep myself out of the trouble. But of course, maybe I was P1 if I pitted, so it's always a difficult thing to say.
Yeah, fair enough. So where do you think Hungary kind of lies for your more favorable tracks, your more confident tracks?
Well, in the last year's game, it ranked very low, but this year I would say it ranks pretty highly. Did get a pretty good flow on the track. It does suit my driving style this year, so it's a lot better than last year for sure.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, Shelly, there you go. Take it away.
Yeah, I had to find that mic button once again. How have you been handling the new update, Lindsay? Because I know some guys have had a hard time with it.
Sorry, you got out at the end, man.
Yeah. How have you adjusted to the new update that just came out a couple days ago?
Well, it's a hard one because I think for me it feels pretty similar to last year's game. You can a bit more throw it into corners. You have a lot more traction on the lower gears. Before the patch, it was, I think, a lot more difficult to put the power down. Now it's a little bit easier to do that. So it takes some time to get used to, but I think I picked it up pretty easily, and hopefully it continues to get better from now.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, you still battling with race day from D3 now in D2. You guys are moving in a pair, and hey, we always love a nice, friendly rivalry. I think Crash covered mostly everything else, so I'll congratulate you on your P2, and I'll kick it back over to Crash my ass.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
But yeah, so we kind of mentioned a little bit before there with race day, but next tracks are Canada, Monaco, Imola. How does that sound for you?
That sounds horrible, to be honest. It's not great tracks for me. I think Canada I could be high up, but the penalties could be an issue. Monaco will all be about not getting damage, and Imola is probably my worst track on the calendar. So it's gonna be tough, but just gotta get through these, and then hopefully better times will come after that.
Yeah, fair enough. But get them out of the way early.
That's true.
There you go. But well done again, Lancey. Thank you very much for coming in for the interview, and best of luck. And maybe
Yes,
we'll be
thank you.
hearing you in Miami.
Yes, thank you guys.
No worries. Okay, KB, you finally found your way into the Let's try this again. How you doing, KB? Well done on the podium. Thanks for coming in for the interview here. Congratulations again. Is this your first podium in Midwest, or and maybe in Division 2 at least?
No, I got a podium last race as well in France.
Oh, so we've turned it into a streak now.
Yeah, six times now.
Oh, well, there you go. Well done. Did you feel like a podium was on the cards at all for you coming in after qualifying?
No, not really. I kind of lost hope as soon as I saw everybody far away from me, especially after like lap 3. Everybody was like 4 seconds ahead.
Yeah, there were some guys with some crazy pace in this race, but things did not go their way, and you were kind of Johnny on the spot, and had a very proper strategy, kind of leading yourself into that. I guess was that your number one thought to approach it the way you did, especially with the safety car?
Yeah, my strat was just to try to get hold my position with the hards, just try to make them last longer, and that way try to overtake towards the end.
Yeah, Shelly had a good point earlier on of very early in the race there of the drivers kind of starting on the hards and then going to the medium, having the advantage after the initial pit, as the mediums are easier to warm up, especially around Hungary. And did that at all kind of come into your thought, kind of starting on the hards initially?
Not really. I knew the tires were going to try to warm up really quickly, so I put all my pressure all the way down, just because this was a really hot track.
Yeah, you came out of the pit and you had, I think it was Dirty Boy Jackson, and you were battling it right out of the gate. I think it was Dirty Boy, right, in the Alpha?
No, that was EDA Palmer.
Oh, okay, yeah, so he was one of the really quick guys there. So you kind of had to let him go a little bit there, am I right?
Yeah, kind of. But then I found my tires finally warmed up, and we were finally racing again.
Yeah, and then you just kind of just took off from that point there and just kept picking up positions up until the podium. But I mean, hats off to you, man. It was a very hard fought race. You did very good. I'll let Shelly go here and see what he has to say.
Yeah, fun fact. I'll go through a bottle and a half of water during the interviews. I don't know what's caused that.
Are you never ready for when I'm kicking it to you? You always seem so surprised.
No, I'm ready. I have to formulate my questions while you're talking, Crash, and then he's like, "Whoa, it's Joey's turn." I'm like, "Whoa, it's my turn." Speaking of my turn, you were talking about losing pace in the off-topic chat earlier. I mean, you didn't lose pace. You finished P3. Can I ask what were you referring to when you're saying you're losing pace?
When everybody was on the mediums, they were all 4 seconds ahead of me after 4 laps, and I was kind of giving up hope because I felt really slow. I felt like I was about to spin with how light the car felt. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey man, never give up, or yeah, that's what John Cena says, I think, something like that. But anyways, yeah, no, as long as you don't spin, you'll be all right. Fun fact, you were racing John Cena tonight. You can't see him. I'll use that joke twice in one interview. But congrats on the P3. Don't quit Midwest. Keep racing. We like to see you up here.
Yeah, of course.
So this is my first time talking to you. I always like to ask people that I've just first met. How did you find the Midwest F1 League, and how long have you been in it for?
I've been in here for ever since last season's Monaco, so like a month or two.
Oh, okay. Well, you haven't been in it for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to have you, man. Very well done on your podium. Congratulations again. Best of luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll hear from you very soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. All right, Mr. Murph. Now, I thank you for coming in for this interview. I know it's got to be a really tough one. You had so much more points available. I mean, what happened on that exiting turn 1 there, man?
New Jeff told me there was 34 laps in the race. I thought I won. I was doing some victory donuts. Then I realized the race wasn't over. So no,
okay, yeah, that checks out.
I saw race day coming. I don't know, 5-second mental lapse. I looked in my rearview mirror, gave it too much power, and see you later into the grass.
Yeah, that's got to be. I don't want to dig the knife in anymore, but that's just like really, really tough, man. I mean, just know that you had a lot of people rooting for you to pull through, and we're all still so very proud of you. Okay, you fought a very hard race.
I appreciate it. I was watching the tires. They were getting bad. They were 67%. I don't know about the new game. I don't play it that much anymore, but I didn't know what the threshold was for puncture territory.
Okay. Yeah. Just still you got to still be very proud on the way that you performed. You had the strategy on lock. You looked like you were playing chess while everyone was playing checkers, and then unfortunately you accidentally punched your king off the table.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is, my guy. But I mean, Shelly, what do you got? You know you got something to say.
Give it to me, Shelly.
Hey, Murphy fucking suck. Christ, I could wait and use that one, so I thought that would be the good time to use it. But no, let's talk about the good side of the race. You were holding off race there for a while. I mean, did the pressure get you in the last lap? I mean, what was going through your mind going into turn 1 on lap 35?
I was watching the time fall. He was getting me in the corners, obviously with the fresher tires. If I had just held on to it a little bit, I might have been able to pull it off. I don't think he would have been able to pass me in sector 2 and 3. But turn 1 got me.
Yeah, instead of turn 12, fun fact. I saw that too. Yeah, no, it's okay. We've all had those moments. I've had mine. You've had yours tonight, and it sucks. But no, talk to me about your race. You start on the mediums, and then you pit pretty early on for the hards. Do you think that was a bold move, or do you think that was going to work the whole race? Because you said you're at 75%, which I believe is puncture territory. So
Yeah.
you were cutting pretty close there.
I saw the safety car come out, and then I saw Race Day dive into the pits, so I thought I'd follow him. And then, unfortunately, like he said, he went to the softs, so that was a bit of a kick in the nuts for him. But I managed to get the hards on, and it ended up paying off in the long run.
Yeah, isn't it funny how how God works? You followed him into the pits and took the lead. He followed you past turn 1. He took the lead.
Exactly.
Yeah. Digging that knife deeper. No, in all seriousness, a great race, good recovery from 2 spins late in the race. And hey, what can we expect you from the rest of the D2 season? Because hey, you're kind of on a revenge tour. You're like, hey, what's up? I've been to D1. I want to be back there. What can we expect from the new Murphy Selly this season?
I'm hoping to at least finish in the top 5 most races. Maybe pull a Scavney and finish in first place without ever winning a race. That might be the goal. Consistency this season.
Yeah, Scavney's from Pittsburgh. That's a good driver right there. Great time.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, Heartbreak City. Turn on that sad music from Juice WRLD and start bumping it. We'll be here for the rest of the night. I'll kick the ball back over to Crash, and guess what? I was ready for this one, Crash, because I wanted to use my one.
Yes, you were. I could tell you're prepared. But yes, thank you again, Shelly. Quickly, I guess we'll start with you, Murph, while you're still technically in for the interview at this point, but Pork Chops really wants me to ask what your thought is for the rules changes for next season's Division 2, going no ABS and no traction control.
I mean, I'm not American, but I may plead the fifth.
Oh.
Also, very, very high chance. I mean, you guys are probably the first ones to know, but I may not be here for Season 8. I might have to put the F1 league racing on hold for a little bit.
Aw.
Yeah, we're getting into hockey season. Time is just not a thing anymore.
That's rough. Look what you made him do, Pork Chops. Oh my God. Well, that's really tough to hear, but best of luck through this season, man. Thank you again for tuning in, and still, like I said, you got to be proud of the 34 laps that you put in.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
No worries. Race Day, if you're still there, what's your thought on that? The no ABS, no traction control in Season 8.
I love ABS. Taking away ABS is basically nerfing me. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, very true. It's just all in the way that we're trying to progress the league, and you can't please everyone, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for your input there. KB as well. You seem to be still in. Do you have anything to say on that regard?
Same thing as Race Day, pretty much. I'm gonna do terrible if I have to take off ABS.
Better start practicing now, boys. That's all I can say. Oh, God. Well, thank you guys very much for coming in for the interviews. Appreciate that. If you have any shout-outs, be sure to say it right now. Any birthdays or anything coming up for you guys? Anyone? Any people?
We're getting a cat tomorrow.
Shout out the cat. Also, shout out Murphy always spinning toys in the last lap.
Not you.
Shout out that cat.
Okay, anywho. All right, thanks, guys, for tuning in the interview. We're going to jump back in the broadcast channel. Have a good rest of your season. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. There we go. All right, Shelly, just me and you, my guy. So, that was a good freaking race, man. That was fun as all hell.
Yeah, no, you said shout-outs. I gave a couple shout-outs. There's no other shout-outs. I don't know how that other guy got in the waiting room, but that was a fun
the
little
waiting
surprise.
room's open up to everyone. Then I drag people on the broadcast channel, and then sometimes people's mics don't work in the broadcast channel, so we have to go back to the waiting room, and then it's just the wild, wild west of people joining in.
The Wild Wild West. That's a good shout. I got to take off the broadcast role I gave KB, but hey, what a great race it was in the Hungary ring. Sticking it to all the people that don't like the Hungary ring.
Yeah.
So
They shut them up today.
Yeah, take that, folks. Yeah, take that, Leafs fans. Leafs.
Okay.
I'm not a hockey fan. The Leafs suck.
Okay, say your goodbyes and let's kick it. I need to take a shower. I'm freaking just like.
Bye, guys.
Okay, well, a little better than that.
Hey, we'll see you next week. We're gonna be in Canada. Oh, Canada.
Back in
we'll be
Division
there.
1.
Back in Division 1, and we'll see if Scorn's gonna have a better race than he did last season. I remember that was a pretty rough race for him.
Yes, very true. Tune in to all the social media outlets there for all of your information for the Midwest F1 League, or just search us up on Google, MidwestF1League.com, and we will come up. As well as thank you for everyone that did tune in, as well as the new followers and people that came into chat. Always love to see that. Hopefully you enjoyed the product that was on display for you this evening, and hopefully if you are any bit of a Hungaroring hater, you surely have been changed. One of us. One of us. Yeah, you better be one now. But anywho, thank you everyone for that did come in, as well as our sponsors. Shout out to them. Very much appreciate it all. Hopefully have a good rest of your Thursday, and as well as per usual, have a good and safe weekend. As per usual, I have been CrashMcqueen, and this time I can't say as per usual because it wasn't last week, but ShellyTheTurtle has joined me at the broadcast channel, and we had a game all time. He is alive. And we are the Midwest F1 League. Have a good rest of your day. We'll be seeing you